Now comes that ayah. Ar-rijalu qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa. You know, the previous ayah number 32, was a tamheed, was a preamble to this ayah. Allah has made someone excel over the other in some respect. That was a general rule. Now this rule is applied to the family life. A man and a woman are equal. They equally share the dignity and the honor of being human beings. But when a woman agrees to be a wife to a man who is now a husband, now they are not equal. That is the difference. Men and women are equal, morally equal, being human beings equal. But now they are entering into an agreement. All human beings are equal, but one is employer, the other one is employee. Are they equal? No. One is the boss, other is the subordinate. Are they equal? No. They are not equal in management. They are equal as human beings. In the same way, males and females are equal, morally equal. Being human beings, the dignity and honor as human beings equal. But as wives and husbands, not equal. Ar-rijalu qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa. Men are the managers or the controllers or the protectors or the guardians or the rulers over women. Qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa. Now because this feminism these days, this is a philosophy, it's a culture going from west. It's going very speedily to the east now, spreading very speedily. And this is based on total equality of men and women in every respect. And this is the biggest blunder that West has created and which has ruined the family system altogether, broken it, just shattered it. And we are also proceeding, we are imitating the West and we are also following them. But that is why some of the people, some of the mufassirin of today, they misinterpret this ayah. What is qama ala? I must discuss it in detail. Qama yaqumu, just as you have the example in English. To give, it means something. To give up means something else. To give in, absolutely different. So positions, they change the meaning. Qama yaqumu, to stand up. Stand up erect. Qama yaqumu. Qama ila, to rise to do something. Qama ila, he rose and he intended to do something. Qama be, to manage something, to sustain something. Qama ala, to guard something, to control something, to direct something, to rule over something. So even the translation of rulers is not wrong. Because this qama ala, as I told you, when Allah makes tawbah, it is ala. When a man makes tawbah, it is ila. Tubu ilallahi. Wallahu yatubu alaykum. So there is a hell of difference between ala and ila. Qama ila, qama be, qama without any preposition, and qama ala. Ar-rijalu qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa. Men are the rulers over women. They are the managers, you may call. They are the protectors, you may call. They are the guardians, you may call. The softest word you may use, but the harshest word is also not wrong. Men are the rulers. Husband is the ruler in the family. He is the head of the family. And if you don't accept the husband as the head of the family, the institution of family will go to dogs. الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض, in the same terminology. ولا تتمنوا ما فضل الله بعضكم على بعض. Now Quran, you know, it's regarding the passions and emotions of women, not saying clearly that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made men superior over women. No. بعضهم على بعض. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made someone superior over someone. So that is the general rule. But here, ar-rijalu qawwamun 'ala an-nisa, by dint of that, by which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made one superior over the other. وَبِمَا أَنْفَقُوا مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ, and because of their spending their money. Because the husband is supporting the wife. The husband is the bread earner of the family. The head of the family has to support the family. When he goes to marry a woman, he offers bridal money. Dowry. Why? Woman also needs the husband. And as husband needs the wife, they are equal. Both the sexes, they need the opposite sex. Why should the man pay the dowry? Why shouldn't the woman pay the dowry? No. This is the whole system, it's logical. Because the man has to have the upper hand. Because he is to become the qawwam. So he must, as if he is the seeker. And actually woman agrees to go into his nikah, into his hisn, as we have noted hisn, muhsanat, going into the fortress of that husband, that man's nikah and marriage. So that is why, because they are spending, they give the dowry or the bridal money, that they have to support. That is why now they are the qawwamun. الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض. Now this is the basic philosophy of family life in Islam. Unless you accept the basic philosophy under the Western influence. Now you can distort the meanings, take it this way or that way, but it won't help. We must accept Quran as it is. And it is logical, absolutely logical. فَالصَّالِحَاتُ. Now, what should be the attitude of a pious woman? So the righteous women are those. Now note, what are the qualities of a righteous wife in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَالصَّالِحَاتُ قَانِتَاتٌ. They are obedient to their husbands. Qanitat. Qunut. Obedience. That is the first quality. What does it mean? You can argue with your husband. You can bring him to your point of view by arguing, by appealing, whatsoever it is. But if in the end the husband says, no, this is my opinion, you have to give in. You have to accept. The woman has to accept the decision of the husband. Except if he is going beyond the limits of the Sharia. La ta'ata li makhluqin fi ma'siyatil khaliq. This is the rule. No one among the creatures will be obeyed in anything in which there is some disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator. He is the absolute. He deserves the absolute obedience, total obedience. But within the limits of obedience of Allah, you have to obey. The women have to obey their husbands. The children have to obey their parents. The subordinates have to obey their bosses. The general public has to obey the rulers. And so on. There is obedience. There can be no social order without obedience. But there is a limit to the obedience in Islamic society. Within the limits of the Sharia, nobody can demand obedience, total obedience, irrespective of the limits of the Sharia. No. Then he becomes a God himself. It is shirk. It becomes associating someone equal and partner to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قَانِتَاتٌ حَافِظَاتٌ لِلْغَيْبِ. And they are guard in the absence or in the secret, the unseen. I will let you know what does it mean. There is the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hafizatul lil ghaibi bima hafizallah, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has guarded. There is the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam which says, which is the best wife? What are the qualities of best wife? And he said, the best wife is the one who pleases you when you see her, who obeys your orders. Number 2, qanitatun. And who guards your property and her own honor in your absence from home. She is the custodian of your property, your mal, your belongings at home. You have gone out to work. Now she is the custodian. She has to guard your property. Number 2, when she has agreed to be a wife to you, now her honor and chastity is also a trust with her. It is your property now. You have the right. The conjugal rights you have over her. So actually this is also a trust. She has to guard it. Hafizatul lil ghaibi. She has to guard her own honor because now that belongs to the husband. She has agreed to be a wife to that person. And the property that is in her custody in the absence of the man who is going out for work. فَالصَّالِحَاتُ قَانِتَاتٌ حَافِظَاتٌ لِلْغَيْبِ بِمَا حَفِظَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّاتِي تَخَافُونَ نُشُوزَهُنَّ. As for those about whom you fear insubordination, nushuz. She wants to go her own way, not obey. You may like it or dislike it. I have to do it. That is the attitude. Now what to do? وَاللَّاتِي تَخَافُونَ نُشُوزَهُنَّ فَعِزُوهُنَّ. Number 1, admonish them. Try to persuade them to mend their ways. وَاهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. Number 2, leave them alone in their beds. Don't have any relationship, any sexual relationship with them. Keep yourself away from their beds, or keep them away from your beds. And even if this is not sufficient, وَضْرِبُوهُنَّ. You can beat them also. Now these are the words of Allah. I can't say anything. Maybe it is not palatable for the Western people, Western society. But if you want to keep it disciplined, the right of punishment should be there. Otherwise, there can be no discipline. There can be no order. The punishment should be there. This house, this family is an institution, basic unit of this society. Whatever will be in this basic unit, it will spread to the whole of this society. If there is anarchy, indiscipline, the whole society will become anarchist and without any discipline. Loose. If there is discipline in the family, then the whole society will be disciplined or organized. So these are the 3 words. فَعِزُوهُنَّ. Admonish them. وَاهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. Number 2, keep away from them. Leave them alone in their beds. وَاضْرِبُوهُنَّ. And you can beat also. But the Prophet said, don't inflict anything on her body that leaves permanent effect. These are the caution to observe. وَاضْرِبُوهُنَّ فَإِنْ أَطَعْنَاكُمْ. But now if they mend their ways, and now if they are ready to obey you, فَلَا تَبْغُوا عَلَيْهِنَّ سَبِيلًا. Now don't try to find lame excuses to punish them more and more. Only till such time that they have mended their attitude, you can give these 3 types of punishment. Inna Allah kana aliyan kabira. Verily Allah is exalted one and the greatest. Because He is the exalted one. If you are doing it wrongfully to your wives, Allah Ta'ala will take you to task. You are also answerable. As you have to keep the discipline in your family, Allah wants to keep the discipline in the whole of humanity. So you will be punished. You will be answerable to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.